Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks very much for joining us. This weekend, the Massachusetts Democratic Party held its nominating convention in Worcester. You're hearing the results reported by my colleagues here on the Sunday Morning News. But because we record these interviews late in the week, we obviously can't discuss the results. But we can talk about where the state Democratic Party is and where it's headed. And let's do so with the chairman of the party, Gus Bickford. Gus, good to see you.
Good to see you, John. Nice to be here.
Thank you for coming by. So, by the way, a quick note to our viewers, Republican Party Chairman Jim Lyons has repeatedly been invited here since he became chairman in 2019, and he has always declined. So, Gus, when she dropped out of the governor's race last winter, Harvard scholar Danielle Allen slammed the 15% rule that both parties use, where you can't get on the ballot unless you get support from 15% of the convention delegates. She said, quote, "There's no excuse for ballot access procedures that push out qualified but non-traditional candidates and rob the people of Massachusetts of real choice on their ballot," end quote. Are we going to see the end of the 15% rule or not?
I don't think so. I mean, there's an opposite view to that, which is the 15% rule significantly makes our candidates stronger. We've got a lot of examples of people who have not been your traditional candidates, not been in elected office. Deval Patrick, Elizabeth Warren are two. Maura Healey is another. And even Steve Kerrigan, who is from a small town. So we have had a lot of examples of people that have passed the 15% rule, made strong, going on in some cases to be presidential candidates. And I think that's because they have had to exercise their personal skills. So not just their orator skills, but how can they interact people to people in small rooms and get their message across? And I think that our candidates are stronger because of it.
But Professor Allen there seems to be suggesting it's sort of an insider gauntlet that an outsider is at a huge disadvantage with.
Well, so I go back to Deval Patrick and Elizabeth Warren.
Okay. Well, you mentioned Maura Healey, and there are a lot of Massachusetts Democrats who've worked hard over the years to shed the party's reputation for being anti-business, if you will. Maura Healey's making a point of branding herself as a supporter of small business and economic development. But our viewers and viewers of other stations in the market here are being barraged with ads about the ballot question governing gig workers that'll be on your ballot in the fall, that feature rideshare drivers, people of color, working class people, claiming that the parties, the Democratic parties and organized labor's position opposing that question are antithetical to why they work those jobs. Is that an anti-business stance?
No, it's a pro-worker stance. You know, there are significant issues with all of these gig workers, and especially when they're controlled in environments where they are able to control when they drive, but they're not necessarily able to control what their contracts are, and it's basically dictated to them from a much larger, frankly, you know, a large group of people, you know, who are basically looking at the bottom line to make a difference and not necessarily concerned with what the life experience of these people are. So I just think what we're trying to do, and I'm a strong supporter of not having this ballot question go through, which is just standing up for them, not necessarily taking away their independence, because that's the misnomer of what they're fighting for. We want them to have the independence of being able to drive when they want, but basically to be able to drive with fair wages and reimbursements that are appropriate for gas and vehicle and other things. So it's just basically lifting the workers up.
All right, I'll tell you what, on that note, let's take our mid-break here, and when we come back, we're going to dive into the Massachusetts Democratic Party platform and get Gus Bickford's comments about what's in there. So please stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.